Looks like I'm not wearing pants. They're just 5-inch inseams. Hello and welcome back to the Croak and Crow podcast on a Friday night. I am Spencer Cardia.
I am Buddy, the blood drop.
I thought you meant the elf. No, the blood drop. And this is Frank, looking a little childish.
Cucuzumachu.
Cucuzumachu. That's a, what is that, Spanish?
We got it in Spain, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
I wonder if it still exists, the brand.
Who knows? Who knows what exists? Who knows if it ever existed?
I'm Buddy the blood drop.
What is that?
It is the mascot for the American Red Cross.
You've just been mascots all week.
Yeah, and it's a blood drop. And he, you know, when there's events like we need blood.
I hear they make a lot of money off of people's blood.
Well, yeah, they sell it.
Yeah,
but
it's a non-profit, but
no, it's okay.
It's a profitable non-profit.
To the American Red Cross, they do make money, but money is needed for the blood drives. Like people sometimes when there's
I think that money's lining the pockets.
How dare you talk about the American Red Cross?
I don't know what's going on.
The only thing I do want to say is they always were giving these ads saying there's such a big need for blood during Corona. What did we call it now? COVID, Corona, the quarantine,
the
pandemic. And so I literally I went online to be like, even though I shouldn't because I'm anemic, but I didn't know that at the time, that I'll give. And they were like super filled up.
We don't want your blood.
Not that they didn't even know me, but they had enough.
I think it's ran by vampires.
Oh my gosh.
You know, maybe.
I don't know if I'm digging this. Hood.
What's up, guys? It is Friday. I have the shades on because I got a black eye last night.
No, you didn't.
No, I'm just kidding. I will never lose a fight.
Listen, I wanted to say something.
I'm listening.
That I'm Buddy the blood drop.
Okay. Is there something more than that?
And then you brought up Buddy. Who's Buddy the elf? The Keebler? The Christmas guy. Will Ferrell. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of little Keebler Toll House cookies.
No.
Okay. But what I want to tell you, if you think of Buddy, who's another famous Buddy you think of?
I don't know.
Cake Boss.
I never really watched
Buddy
Cake Boss.
Vlastra. Cake Boss. And did you know that Cake Boss, Buddy, last year, not far into, even though I feel like we are very far into 2021, aren't we? But
we are more than halfway through 2021.
Wow. Well, in 2020, I think it was December, he has a big, beautiful mansion in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. He deserves it. He has bakeries. He has products. He even has K-Cups now. You know the K-Cups?
Does he?
He has everything. Real good businessman besides being a baker. And he has a personal bowling alley in his house.
That'd be awesome.
It would be awesome until you think that, let me, you know how the guy unsticks the pins for you and everything?
Yeah.
He said, let me do it. He said he did it anytime it happens. I think the game was on or something. So he goes and it kind of looks like a contraption like this. Lots of metal and arms and things you can't see.
Yeah.
He puts his hand into it like that, palm. A pin, a fat, like Christ on a cross, goes straight through between I think he said his ring and middle finger, straight through, other side. Guess what?
He'll never bake again.
It's his dominant hand, right hand. Not just once. You know how like those things they keep setting? The pin setter. It was, his kids, he has like teenage kids, little teenagers. And his brother-in-law or something had to cut him out. Even before emergency got there, cutting him out.
Cut him out of the machine?
His hand's stuck. He's stuck in the... He's stuck in the bowling alley.
They should have just like, what was that? 172 hours? Cut his own hand off?
Listen, I don't know if someone else... I mean, he has money. I don't know if someone else would have gotten such good care in the hospital. I think he had like 7 surgeries so far. But
I feel like if you own your own bowling alley, you're pretty set money-wise.
Probably have a surgeon upstairs.
Yeah.
So, interesting story. You said you haven't thought about Buddy Cake Boss in years. Either
I didn't say that, so I've never really watched it.
It was on in our house, so.
I was doing religious things.
We were even going to actually go to his bakery, Carlo's Bakery in New York.
It wasn't me.
New Jersey, Hoboken. But we didn't. Anyway, that was another buddy. Just wanted to say that little update, celebrity news update.
Oh, it's recent?
Just happened December 2020.
It's not recent.
He is still being on the news like as of 3 weeks ago.
I guess it is. 7 surgeries 8 months ago. I'm imagining the most recent surgery couldn't have been that long ago.
I think if you went on his Instagram, his hand's going to be bandaged.
Yeah, probably. R.I.P. to Cake Boss.
No, he's fine.
He's
really
may
fine,
he rest in
actually.
peace.
You should have stuck with baking.
Why?
Because so you could have a mansion with a bowling alley.
What's up, guys? It's Friday. It's Fun Friday. Feeling good. Feeling a little hood. Just the way we should.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going into the weekend, and I'm going to a wedding.
Yours?
Yeah, I'm getting married. Frank's my best man. Oh, that'd be pretty cool if I ever get married.
Yeah, just roll him.
Yeah. Maybe he'll have legs by then.
No, I would like him
Modern
to
technology.
be in a remote control wheels so that he could
like
enjoy
those giant robots.
dancing.
Well, not giant robots. The robots at the supermarket giant.
Oh, yeah.
They just like walk around. They put like a
Marty.
Roomba underneath them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure I can meet a robotics team that would be willing to.
You wouldn't even need it. He'd just put him on one of the vacuum things.
No, I want him to get like arms and stuff. Like I want him to be my first dance.
You can dance with him without arms.
Yeah. Anyway, anywho, so I'm going to a wedding. Weddings are great. Today on Fun Friday, we're going to talk about weddings because they're kind of spiritual in a way.
Of course.
A little bit. Some would say.
I
God
think
would
so.
say.
Because they're about love.
Whoa. Yeah. So weddings. Where do we begin? A wedding ceremony, a lot of the time will be done in a church because it is a connecting of two souls forever.
Right.
But then why do we say till death do us part?
The bodies are married and then one of the bodies is dies.
Mm-hmm.
And that would part you.
Okay.
But it doesn't say till death do us extinguish.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking that you'll always be together and you'll always share a bed and you'll always share a table, but in death you're going to go to heaven before me. One of us is going to go first.
I don't know how I feel about weddings. That's what I'm sort of getting at. And
Well,
not like I love going to weddings. I love a good party, but I don't know. Didn't Jesus say, "Don't get married," but most of you can't do that, so get married?
Did he say the second part? So get married?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah, so I could be misquoting the Bible right now.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure this is what Jesus said.
Okay.
He said the whole, like, not like, I think he's talking to the disciples, or like, I don't know who he was talking to, but he's saying the most spiritual person, like, I think this might be why priests don't get married. It's don't get married, but it is better to marry than to lust.
Okay.
And so therefore get married.
Okay.
Did he even say that?
I don't know.
Well, we should have walked through Thursday yesterday and then talked about it. But
Friday is Let's Pose a Question Friday that
we don't have the answers to.
That you can, look up over the weekend.
Yeah. But wait, why would he have said that? Because then how would there be kids? I think he was talking to the disciples. I think that would make more sense. Did any of the disciples get married?
I thought some of the disciples left their families.
They did. Well, I thought so too.
I believe Muhammad left his wife, didn't he?
But isn't Muslim tradition that you get married a lot?
Oh.
So is back in the day tradition.
Way to pick a topic that is so broad and so confusing.
Yeah.
You said a lot of people get married in a church, and I'm thinking that was probably the main thing people were doing was pairing up within your spiritual community. And then, because I'm guessing the oldest records would have been church records and not government records. So, the baby, it wouldn't be a birth certificate. It would be a christening certificate. And it wouldn't be a marriage from the government. It would be, because I told you before, Bibles used to be your filing cabinet. That's where you would write a baby was born and people were married and someone died.
Yeah, okay. Now, I'm pro weddings. I take that back. But what's the point? I'm posing this. What's the point of getting married? I'm not saying it as if there is no point.
Right.
I'm saying I'm opening the question. Like let's walk through marriage. Like it's such a normal thing. Everyone knows you fall in love, you get married. But what's the point? What's the real point to it?
The point of a wedding ceremony or the point of walking through life being wedded? Walking through life being wedded?
Yeah, we'll get to the ceremony in a second.
What's the point of it?
Yeah, what's the point?
It's just an agreement. It's just a
covenant.
A covenant. It's just a promise and an assurance that, hey, I want to be in your life for as long as you have life, and so says the other person.
That's kind of sweet, if you ask me. Yeah. No, I guess if anything, to bring it spiritually, of wise and church stuff, is God is love, right?
Right.
And so we always say anything that happens with love in life is a reflection, an image of God in his whole. And God has this unconditional love for us, all of us. And a wedding ceremony is so special because for a second, I mean, it's hard. Obviously, we can never match the love of God, but for one person, we show that unconditional love of the
right.
no matter what, through through thick and thin.
Yeah. For better, for worse.
Sick or in health. We're just gonna start reciting it all.
Yeah.
So I guess it's one of the greatest ceremonies.
Well,
one of the closest to God.
Again,
next to funerals.
It's a ceremony of personal, or not even a ceremony, but it's an agreement of personal choice and freedom. So hopefully. That's what I'm saying. That is what's beautiful and wonderful. But it's not if it's your forced marriage or I can't even say arranged, because you can have an arranged marriage where you end up loving the person. So, but I'm saying if it's forced, if it's against your will. Yeah. And when they say to the crowd, if anyone here has something to say, because we really want to make sure this is not a forced marriage. Yeah. Now, in the Bible, it says, I hope you remember what you're going to say, are you? You're just in one ear out the other. I'm just in the Bible, it says, what God has brought together, let no man put asunder. And people take that to mean that you can't get divorced. You can't get divorced.
I'm talking about marriage, and you've already brought up divorce.
That's how I am. You can't get divorced, and in the Catholic Church to this day, they don't want you to be divorced, and it's a whole hullabaloo. If you do, you got to go through some channels to make it seem like you were never married. Yeah, I read it differently. I read it as. Can
you tell me the quote again?
What God has brought together, let no man put asunder.
Got it.
Okay. Now, what I say is, because it's a decision of freedom, of choice, of, hey, I have this arrangement and love, and I want to be in your life and you want to be in mine. Yeah. I think let no man interfere with this and break it means
from the outside in.
Yeah, stop interfering.
Yeah.
Don't interfering. And I'm not even talking about cheating or anything. I'm just saying about always with the love and the tranquility and the wholeness. But if the people in the marriage say that we no longer want to have this agreement, arrangement, or just connection, then they can get divorced. But
I'm team divorce. Well, not like I'm not like pro divorce.
Yeah,
but like
I understand it.
Like I said earlier, I think it's all about love. Now, I'm not saying you go through one hiccup, but hopefully, if you get married, it's right. You've already come to that agreement. Right. And yeah, I agree with what you said, because literally, just like we said, it's a mirroring image of God, or at least ideally, marriage is a mirroring image of unconditional love that we see from God, you have for another person. And no man should get in between that. No man should get in between you or your spiritual journey. Right. No man should get between you and the unconditional love you have for another person. But and so to force people, I feel like not allowing people to split up is as bad as arranging a marriage. It's causing for a loveless agreement. Right. And a loveless agreement is not a reflection of God. Right. So why would you want someone to go through that? Like, your love for that person should strengthen, like, how do I put this? What I like most about love is no matter how much you learn to love on earth, God's love for you is always greater. And the nice thing about it is every time you find more love, that's why they say it's nice to have children and stuff, because you see,
right,
I could not love this child anymore. And then you start
right.
to have an idea of like, wow. And so, can
And
you
this
imagine?
child, right.
And so it's the same thing with a marriage. A marriage is supposed to show you this love that you've never seen before. And then it's like, so this is what love is. And imagine God loves me more, like
right.
more than anything can imagine. And so once you are not able to see that, once there's things in the middle of it, it ruins the,
right.
the spirituality of what the marriage once was. And so, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to plant seeds of resentment or hopelessness or dejection in people, because we're here on earth to become full and total, complete, and have lots of time and energy and motivation for exploring our spirituality, strengthening our relationship with God. Talked about that yesterday. If you resent reading the Bible, or you're tired, or you feel that you need to punish yourself by saying, or you feel guilty because you didn't pray at a certain time, you're not getting all you can be getting out of it.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And so with denying somebody a divorce, I guess the thought is that you will learn to fix it, or you'll, but in reality, you're taking this whole child of God and you are, I feel, you're giving them so many troubles extra that they have to work through, because just on the thought that if I don't let them get a divorce, that they'll fix it. But I don't know, but I am pretty sure that it doesn't work that way.
No.
Just because you force two people to hold hands, it does not mean they're going to be friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's one of those things. I think we talked about it on the suicide podcast, where when you demonize or tell people they're going to go to hell for that, thinking it's going to dissuade other people,
right.
It's like you're fighting the wrong battle. It's like if you're forcing people to stay together, you're not promoting true love.
Right.
And that's what I feel like is what's so special about a wedding is the love in the air.
And people will always find loopholes to get around. Like, so in Ireland, divorce used to be illegal. I don't know what it is now, but so what you would do is you would still leave your person, and you would get with someone else, and it just never happened legally. You have to go around. There's a Jewish one of the Jewish rules. For some, I don't know, the women have to shave their hair, hide their hair, do something. And if you see super Orthodox people, they'll have one like a covering, a tickle, as it's called, but more moderate, I guess.
If what? You never said if why.
To cover their hair.
Just in general? If they're married? If they're divorced?
I think if you're married.
Okay.
You have to cover your hair if you're married. But I was talking about loopholes in religion. When you have human rules, we talked about human rules yesterday. Human rules to make God happy is what we think. Okay, there's a human rule that I have to cover my hair when I'm married, but I don't really want to do that. So then they wear wigs.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, see, I did. Same thing. So divorce is illegal. I want to be a Catholic. I don't want to get excommunicated. So I didn't get divorced.
Okay, enough about divorce. This is about weddings. We're talking about love. Okay, I'm going to a wedding.
I thought we were talking about the ceremony.
Well, I mean, now we are, but now I just have so much divorce in my mind. I'm going to go to the wedding and be like, I support your divorce. And I don't want to do that. I want to support the love. Now ceremonies. So, how do I put this? We just established what is so great and spiritual about weddings is
public display.
No.
Oh.
Is the personal connection of the unconditional love from the two people getting married.
Oh, so even if they were on a mountaintop and there was no audience?
Yeah, well, that's what we were just saying. We were saying the two people expressing this unconditional love for each other that almost mirrors what we see from God. It's this covenant between two people. Now let's talk about the marriage ceremony, which sometimes does it overshadow what we just talked about is so great about a wedding. Interesting. This will bring me to the recent story about the Pope saying don't do the Mass in Latin, and the woman who said don't idolize the Mass. So do people idolize
the wedding ceremony over
The marriage.
the marriage. I think some do.
I think a lot, though.
I think it's easy to do.
It's so fun to do. I mean, I'm talking.
I don't blame them.
I started this podcast being like, who needs a wedding? And then I started thinking about it in a spiritual perspective. I'm like, whoa, marriage, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, this is all on the spot. And now I am realizing that this entire time up to this wedding, I've only been thinking about, all right, let's get through the talking. When's the party?
Right.
And I think a lot of people think that.
Yeah.
Are we wrong for that? Or does it how do I put this? It does entice weddings.
Oh, you
It
mean
makes them enticing.
for spectators?
Yeah.
Yeah, party, of course.
Party. I mean, it is a celebration. Like,
There's joy in everyone's heart, especially if you know the couple. You're so happy
yeah.
that love has been multiplied.
Yeah. But are you? I'm excited for the dancing.
Oh, well, would you want to dance like as happily at a funeral?
Yeah. My favorite part of funerals are, well, not dancing, but like, is that after party where it's like, because I think that's the best part of
I know,
funerals.
but there's a bit of a black cloud hanging over a funeral after party.
But here's the thing about it. I'm talking if you know the person, if you're hurt by it. If you're hurt by the funeral you're going to, for me, everyone grieves differently.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that's the one little speckle of light where are you still mourning? Yes. But now you're surrounded by other people who feel the same way you do.
I think they should have one of those every day of that person. You should have one every day for a week.
Ooh, that'd be a good little tradition. Maybe, I'll be down.
Well, the Jews have a Shiva, but it's not a party every day.
Yeah. So it's like that. It's, you can smile, you can laugh, and even though you should never feel guilty about being able to laugh and stuff when you're grieving, it's nice to know that you're with other people who feel the same way. So it's not just like you go out to a party and you're like, no one, like I'm not gonna grieve. I'm at a party. It's like you can enjoy yourself knowing you're surrounded. So it's my favorite part of a funeral, because then you go home. Now you're just sad by yourself. I'd rather be sad.
No, you're right.
Eating hoagie tray. Oh my god, we just can't stop talking about dark things. We're talking about marriage and love. First we switched to divorce, and now we're talking about funerals.
No, because we
marriage
we find the beauty in everything.
The beauty in everything.
Beauty in the ashes.
Marriage ceremony is actually, interestingly, to take my own point, I went to a Christian college of a small denomination, and when people get married through the church, they have two different events. Okay. The first one is in the cathedral, just the two of them and the pastor. And it's like, that is like the not romantic, the spiritual, like binding agreement. And then it's not even the same day, the next day or whatever. That's when they have like the big ceremony. Okay. And then I kind of like that. Right. I feel like that. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that
seems like a lot of work to me.
It does. But is that not, like, I'm about to pose a question of, are weddings taken away from this 2-person agreement? And I feel like the answer is what they're doing. I feel like they have that 2-person agreement. And then it's like, okay, now let's do it. Now let's celebrate it in front of people, where it's more of there's music and there's
I see what you're
friends
saying.
And family, and there's distractions, there's toasts from other people. And it's sort of nice to have that private, solemn, spiritual thing that's not so much ends up in a party where
in a
it's
conga
like
line.
In a conga. Everything ends up in a conga line.
Yeah. I can see the benefit of it, and the full focus and concentration that you'd have on that first ceremony that you talked about. Yeah. Because normally in people's lives, tell me another time where you get up and in front of all these people, like you said, you didn't like to do public speaking.
Yeah. My biggest fear is to be someone's best man. Do you have to give a speech, right?
Yeah, you do.
It's actually a big fear of mine to get married. Imagine having to stand up in front of everyone. Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, no, I was in my sister's wedding and I wasn't even the maid of honor. Yeah. And I was having a panic attack because I didn't want to, I was the first one out in a very long, altered church.
Oh my God. What if I, because that's the worst part. If you're getting married, I don't know. Actually, it would still be terrible. I'm saying for my anxiety. Right. But being the best man, because you can't pass out.
No.
That's worse than like wearing a better suit than the groom. It's like
Yeah.
you stole the show. Everyone,
No, it's a lot.
The next day, everyone will remember. Remember when the best man passed out?
Next day, they'd remember that forever.
Thanks.
They remember that forever. So what I was going to say was, it's a very unusual circumstance that you stand up in front of all these people, even if you had on a pair of jeans, let alone if it's this spotlight ceremony. You know it's being videotaped. It's a lot of pressure, and you may not be able to really just relax and feel the spiritual connection that you would have felt in that thing you talked about.
Even without the pressure, I hear a lot of people say, I don't even really remember the way. Like it was such a blur because it's like it's so moving and stuff. And like, obviously, it's really enjoyable. But I think that what this church does is very nice in that way because we're all for balance. Does someone say balance?
Yin yang.
We're all for balance here on this podcast, and I'm not going to sit here and say weddings. I'm not the person on Christmas saying, stop taking the Christ out of Christmas.
Right.
Why do you keep showing Santa Claus? But I am for the balance of have my big fat Greek wedding.
Yeah.
But there should be a notion of a solemn thing, like understanding of what you're doing, because that is like, especially in 2021. You know, back in the day, it's like you had to get married. If you like now. You can live with someone. You can share bills.
Right.
Own a house.
Have a baby.
And nobody will bat an eye. And so the question is, what's different?
Right.
And it is this agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think there should be a little of emphasis on this is what we're doing. This is what the difference is of us being dating per se.
Right.
To getting married.
Right. It's
not just boyfriend and girlfriend who had a party.
The world is so fast, and everything is so fast. The days are so fast, and you're just running and going, and one thing after the next. You can't stop it. Yeah. In the old days, they say, "Stop the world, I want to get off." And so that just what you're describing sounds like just one teeny time where you can just slow it down.
Yeah.
Walk through wedding. Thursday. I want to say. I think you could really, like you said, even if you were already living with the person, because it's, anymore when they do these big proposals.
Yeah.
What? It's like the girl picked the ring out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so everything's already going. That's just kind of really slow and private.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, I don't know. Even I would say, I'm not, obviously not all churches do it, but my recommendation to all you young kids watching that's going to get married soon is, even if it's a private thing between the two of you,
right?
Even if it's just and like, I like how they do it before the wedding, because then it's like you don't feel this like, oh, you feel that bind already, and then you can enjoy, like, let it all loose in the wedding,
right? Have
fun, zero stress. But a day or two before, just really focus, meditate.
In India, they
have the best weddings.
They have the best weddings. If you want to see, if you want to try to get a glimpse of an Indian wedding, the big production kind, you can look at who was it? Nick Jonas, who got married.
No, Joe Jonas.
Wait,
no, Nick Jonas. Joe Jonas got married to the Stark sister. She's not Stark sister. That's what she was called in Game of Thrones. It was Nick Jonas.
Well, you can see, probably it'd be easy to see their clips, and it's a very big, fun production. But in India, those big production weddings, they hire wedding guests because they can't just depend on having the aunt and the neighbor. So I'm just letting everybody know, if you want Croak and Crow to come to your wedding,
I would love that.
And like,
be a guest. It's like no pressure.
To be a guest.
That's what I'm saying. Just be a guest.
You invite in like I said, in India, you pay these people, and all they do is dance. They do what a wedding guest would do. They sit, they dance, they smile, and we are willing.
I'll do it for free. Yeah. Not like it's not free. Like I would pick chicken, and I want a seat close to where the toasts are being given.
But what if it's far away?
I'll fly.
Really?
Yeah. I'll fly to the first 3. After that, you gotta pay for my travel.
Okay.
Because the first 3, it's like, like first time's free. Get them hooked.
Yes.
Then there's going to be like, wow, he was the greatest wedding guest.
Right.
Then the 4th person's like, what do you need? And then I'll fly economy, by like the 10th person who's like,
Right.
Spencer is the wedding guest of the year.
Right.
First class.
So if anybody needs us to be wedding guests, if you're afraid that you're not going to get a lot of RSVPs and
Even if it's in Vegas and it's just the two of you.
right. And then the people, you know, when you invite someone to your wedding and like they don't come, they don't even RSVP, they don't even send you a card.
Mm-hmm.
Once they find out.
Looks like I'm not wearing pants. They're just 5-inch inseams.
Croak and Crow was there?
Croak and Crow is there?
You're kidding.
You're lying.
Okay.
Yeah, but the problem will be once you know we get too big, will we be taking away the shine? You ever see this? Like when they'll get like, someone crazy, like Taylor Swift shows up, and it's like, are they a little bit taking away the shine? Is everyone going to say, remember Taylor Swift?
Yeah, even if you're a star, like would Lady Gaga go to her sister's wedding? You know, everyone's peeping over the bride.
I'm going to imagine. I don't know if she has a sister, but
I think she does.
I would imagine she would go. But I hear what you're saying.
Right, and then the people.
It's like
who are you looking at?
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's weddings. There was way more to talk about than we did.
I know.
It's a big topic. I'm excited. I'm gonna go to a wedding tomorrow. I'll let you know how it went.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll get married. Maybe I'll get married there. Is that something that happens?
People propose to other people
I don't
during
like
weddings.
that. I don't.
A little bit.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's cute. Like,
and a lot of times the bride knows.
that's what I was about to say. Like, you ever see the one who's like, you throw the bouquet, and then they don't throw it, and they turn around,
I know.
hand it, and she's like, "What?" And then the guy's behind her. All right, guys, go out and get married. That's your homework for the weekend.
Yeah. Because if you get divorced, it's fine.
Yeah. Be divorced by Monday. Have a good weekend. Hopefully, I see you on Christian Meme Review.
I don't know. He's going to a wedding
I'm
out of
going to
town.
a wedding in farmlands, but hopefully, we'll see. If it's not there, it's not there. You'll get over it. Peace.